Reaching you tonight from Lagos, Nigeria, it's Moments Girls Talk. Tonight's guests, fashion blogger Lola Ojo and Hello Africa anchor Eunice Omole. Eunice's energy lit up the room as she tells us what gets her going.
I feel like happiness is like contagious. So when I know that, I communicate that happiness to you and, it's reciprocated, we have a great, communication, like we're good.
Both share how they are bringing sexy back into Nigeria.
Like living abroad most of my life, I think I'm probably just a bit more confident with who I am. So I feel like it's not that I'm bringing my fashion sense to Nigeria. I feel like there's a lot of people that share the same fashion
I just think something that's just like well put together. It's not showing too much, because you don't really need to show like body parts or anything like that, but just let the fashion speak for itself. That's sexy to me.
In this episode, the time is right and the show is Moments.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. I had to adjust my hair because we're talking about bringing sexy back. The ladies are here, everyone looking very sexy. And, what is your definition of sexy? I'm bringing sexy back.
I know, that's all I'm singing in my head.
It's trying to add it. It's coming like
Why does everybody always do that?
Sexy back.
That's all you need to do.
And then we know
Then after that,
take it to the bridge.
Wait, go ahead, being gone with it.
Well, it's all about S&M.
It's all about S&M.
Yes, no.
Oh, that's true. Is it?
Yes.
It's okay.
About the whip.
Let's
Yes, it is. It's really about your back and like cracking a whip.
Okay, so bringing
It's
sexy
about
back.
bringing
That's what it means.
sexy back.
The song is about.
Let's keep it PG.
Let's keep it yes. Let's keep it family friendly.
That song away from me now.
No, you can still have
Smarties.
S&M is kind of like.
Smarties.
Oh yeah, show yourself on TV.
I mean, no.
Show yourself.
What I meant to say was. But that's what the song is about. Let's be clear.
Okay, let's bring it back.
Smarties.
Style.
Brand,
Let's
like,
talk about fashion
M&Ms.
and trends and those things that.
You had asked the question though. What is
bringing
sexy
sex back.
mean?
But
what's
guess
your
what? You guys
definition?
went on a
different
tangent.
way.
No, let me readjust that question. Let's talk about fashion and trends, because that's what I mean when I say sexy back. I remember how when we were younger, we'd see things with our parents, like those glasses our moms wore, the scarves that our parents had, and they're in. People are bringing it back. So what is your definition of sexy? Yeah?
In the fashion sense or just in general?
Yes, that's why I said
Okay,
fashion sense.
Okay, I just think something that's just like well put together. It's not showing too much, because you don't really need to show like body parts or anything like that, but just let the fashion speak for itself. That's sexy to me.
Okay. What about you, Lola?
In terms of sexiness, right, and fashion, I think they're together, but I think they're really separate. I think it's how you carry off whatever it is you're wearing. Because some, like for example, Rihanna, let's just use her. She could wear a bin bag, and
look sexy.
you would say that bin bag is so sexy. When really it's not the bin bag, is it?
It's her.
So I don't think it's really what you wear. I think it's your
how
aura,
you
it's your
wear it.
persona. Yeah, it's how you wear it. As long as what you're wearing is actually like kind of not for you, but you feel comfortable in it. You're able to be you and be free. That's when I think the clothes even look sexy.
So it's the way you carry yourself, your confidence.
Yeah.
You can be wearing a suit and covered up completely and still feel sexy or
it's
exude
also
sexiness.
in so many ways an effortlessness,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Some people,
I agree.
you can tell there's a bit of more work put together, which is fine.
Which is fine, yeah, I know what
there's
you
some
mean,
days where you have to work a little harder. But there's
harder.
some times where, I remember in school there were certain people who they just dressed, they could be wearing sweatpants
And it just looks sexy.
just
It's
hair
still
pulled
the
back in a
whole
ponytail and it was
Rihanna
effortlessly sexy.
When you see Rihanna and you see Beyonce, you can tell that
There's work.
Yeah, you know what? That's
I don't call
that's
I don't
something
think
manufactured about that.
person per se.
But I would still say it's sexy, but it's not an effortless
Naturally,
sexiness.
yes.
It's
Naturally sexy.
we plan for you to be sexy
Yes.
today.
Okay, so let's talk about those trends that are back in. Which ones? I mean, I wouldn't say I like to think that for me personally, I don't do everything that is in.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's not everything that is in that
That's for
suits
you.
me.
Yes.
Remember when this whole leather, was it jeggings or those crazy things were raining, and you see some people who you literally have to ask yourself,
Why?
oh, Lauren, Elaine, you don't
see the same
You
life.
don't have a friend in the house that's telling you that this is just not working. Like, why do this to yourself?
Sure.
So those fashion trends over the years have come back. Let's talk about it, and the ones that you would partake in, and the ones that you think it's just not for you. So where should we start?
Let's start with you, Lola.
Okay, well, belly tops came in
Yeah.
like
Crop top,
huge
yeah.
crop tops, and there was a time when I don't remember what not 80s, but I don't know what, I can't remember what period of fashion that was, but that time that was, that it was really raining. And that's kind of come back. Although
big braids, belly tops.
Yes, but although people are taking it to perhaps a level that I don't necessarily think is like that great, because some people are like, they're not getting the whole crop top thing. It's like, it's the whole effortless thing we're talking about. So you don't have to do a crop top and then tight shorts as well. And you know, it takes it to a completely different, like it's the whole baggy jogging bottoms and a crop top. That's kind of the way I see this. So don't get me wrong, it looks nice with jeans and stuff as well, but it's that kind of effortlessness that makes it sexy. That makes it sexy.
Would you wear a crop top?
No, because I don't have a six-pack.
If you don't need a six-pack.
The thing with me is that I also dress based on my mood. I like to dress differently all the time, but I'm not going to wear something I'm not comfortable in.
So you never be comfortable in a crop top?
No, not right now. There was a time that I would have been, but not right now.
What about you? I think it depends on how it's styled. Like I could have a really nice, sexy crop top, and then maybe have something sheer underneath that gives it a little bit more sophistication to it.
Yeah.
So I think it's all how you dress up those trends, so it's more comfortable for you.
Yeah, and it fits your own persona. Like put your spin on it.
I mean, if you know what's funny, before I used to be the kind of person I'd be like, I wouldn't wear a crop top. But then I realized, you know, when your abs and your body, it's when you've worked for something, you kind of want to be like, yes. But like, the question is like, if I wear a crop top with low-rise jeans, you know, I might do a crop top with high waisted, but then it shows my abs definition. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a situation where there's a balance. Like, I completely understand what you mean. You know, they say never do cleavage and mini skirt. You know that one has to do it.
That is a big trend right now. That is a big trend with all those bandage dresses and all the people that are on Instagram with the really fitted clothes, where it's like they're almost it's not only bandage. It's not only bandage.
It depends on your stress. American girls are trying to oppress.
It's a very American thing.
You mean Atlanta girls?
Like flesh tone.
You guys are trying to oppress us.
Yeah, because they have the booty shots and they feel like everybody when they take the booty shots, they need to literally.
Fashion Nova.
So it's like a dress with a turtleneck and it's like flesh tone.
Perfect figure.
Yeah, but we can go on and on about this. One thing that I actually wanted us to talk about, maybe when we come back, those trends that we need to see in the bin. Yeah? You guys ready? When we come back, we'll talk about those trends that need to go already.
I've come back to Nigeria. I'm sure people might be influenced by me, but I've largely been influenced by being in Nigeria as well. I will also say though that living abroad most of my life, I think I'm probably just a bit more confident with who I am. So I feel like it's not that I'm bringing my fashion sense to Nigeria. I feel like there's a lot of people that share the same fashion
Welcome back to Moments Nigeria. If you have just joined us, this is Girls Talk, and we are talking about Nigerians bringing sexy back. Not only in terms of fashion and style, but also Nigerians in the diaspora, like our two lovely guests, Lola and Eunice, who have brought sexy back in different ways, specifically to do with work-related things. So not just fashion and style. Eunice, you've come back. You have a show that's doing very, very well.
Thank you.
And Lola has come back from the UK, correct? Sure. And you're into beauty and fashion as well, and style. Do you think that it is influencing the way Nigerians at home are dressing and relating, those of you that are coming back?
I don't think so. I feel like Nigerians globally are always like at the forefront of fashion. And a lot of us are born and raised in Nigeria, and then we go out for school or work or whatever brings us out to the US or UK or China or wherever we are. So we adopt these trends that are happening, you know, outside of the continent. And although we come back, I came back and I was like, well, let me get my fashion Rolodex together, because people here are just like, they have makeup artists on their speed dial. They have, you know what I mean? Like
changing hair every week.
As in like, sometimes I feel like I even have to be like, okay, this is what's going on here. So it's interesting having a perspective in the diaspora and then coming back here. I think there's some things maybe in terms of attitude and carriage that may, you know, be perhaps should be a new trend in Lagos. In terms of like women really being confident in themselves and not being dependent on, you know, outside factors, men, family, etc. So I think there's a certain level of independence that the people in diaspora bring back that I think could be considered sexy.
What about you, Lola?
Yeah, for me, I think I'm going to echo a bit what you said. I think it would be a bit patronizing and insulting to say I'm bringing sexy back to Nigeria because I obviously am Nigerian. And regardless, we all take kind of bits and pieces from across the world. So I've come back to Nigeria. I'm sure people might be influenced by me, but I've largely been influenced by being in Nigeria as well. I will also say though that being like living abroad most of my life, I think I'm probably just a bit more confident with who I am. So I feel like it's not that I'm bringing my fashion sense to Nigeria. I feel like there's a lot of people that share the same fashion sense that I have, but perhaps they didn't have the confidence to just be themselves and just do it. So I think if anything, it's just kind of that whole support network that, okay, if you see someone else do it, you're like, oh, okay, well, so can I. So, you know, I wear a lot of trainers, maybe trainers and dresses and stuff like that. And you see people like Aphrodisia and stuff doing it. So naturally, younger girls as well that want to do that.
No, but let's take it away from fashion, because, like you said, like Eunice has said, there are trends here that people adopt when they come, you know, and like you said, people dress better, or you were influenced to dress better when you came to Nigeria. But in terms of maybe more work-related things, so whether it's entrepreneurship, she had mentioned confidence. What do you think that you have possibly brought back that some of the people that you had interacted with didn't have? She had said confidence.
Okay, I wouldn't say I brought anything back. I would probably just say, I wouldn't say brought it back. I don't know, that's just not
okay, fine. Not maybe brought it back is the wrong term.
Yes, contributed. Okay, I think it's just the whole go-getter attitude of just doing. I guess being, you know, in London, you're constantly surrounded by people that are pushing the boundaries, and they don't really care that much about what people say. They'll try it. If they fail, they get up. I think here there's a bit of that whole people are a bit scared, like, oh, I don't want to do this because what if it doesn't work? And you know, this,
people say.
Yeah, but naturally now I feel like everyone is starting to just say, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. And I think that is something that has perhaps come from, let's say, I don't know, some of us coming back. We've just come back and we've had no kind of expectations, so we've just gone in, and it kind of encourages other people who have been here already to do the same.
You know what's interesting? My experience was actually different.
Okay.
Because when I came back, I noticed that there were a lot of my mates who don't just have one job. They have several jobs, or they're starting businesses. So for me, it's okay. You're looking at 20-something-year-old women who are doing another business on the side. Most of my friends in the UK, we just had our job. We had our 9 to 5, and that was it. You come back here, and for me, I was influenced by that, and it inspired me and made me more ambitious.
There's just something about Nigeria.
It's like an energy.
Yes. It's like this hustle.
I think that there's something
energy.
changing, though, in terms of the way, like, how Nigerians here and abroad are beginning to set the trends. I mean, one example is music, right? In so many ways. Do you know how many songs on Drake's new album I will hear and I'll be like, wait, is that a Nigerian song?
If it's got the feel.
And I sit there, I mean, down to the fact where you're saying Henny in my hand. Like, that's a Nigerian thing, Hennessy. You know, so it's so exciting, especially also, you know, Tiwa Savage just recently got signed to Rock Nation. In so many ways, people are looking to Africa, Nigeria
and just
specifically.
Just what you're saying, gone were the days when, by 10, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have a sound as Nigerians. You know, we South Africans always did. You know, when there's Lady Smith's Black Mambazo, and all of a sudden, Nigeria woke up, we caught on, and now sound is everywhere. And then because we're Nigerian, we don't know the Nigerian sound. But it's funny when you sit with people who are not Nigerian and they hear it and like, how do you know it's Nigerian? It's just something because it's inbuilt, because we're used to it. So I mean, I feel like what you guys have brought back, because I mean, I grew up here, so it's very interesting to sit and hear all of you guys speak and then add this. I think it's the independence, because back in Nigeria, people did not necessarily get jobs when they were 16. Or 17, but that's where a lot of people out there did because they had to survive. 1, 2, because you know, as you said, immigrants. It's not as if not everyone moved out and had the gold, silver, platinum spoon. People had to work in Topshop and H&M and things, McDonald's to make money. Do you know what I mean? Back here, there's that dependency thing where you can be 25 and live in your rent and you're good. So I think that sort of also with the fact that it now made you tap into your creativity. So not everyone can get a white collar job out there. I'll braid hair in the UK, so that people that want to braid hair, I'll make money. So you now find them with the whole internet space come into play. You can now play out your creativity. So I make music, I do braids, I do makeup. There's so many makeup artists. Half of them who are out there started out.
But you know what's interesting, Toke? It's a funny balance, because I understand what Michelle is saying is that there is a hustle spirit in Nigeria
that's unlike anywhere else.
Even in America, yes, we would make sure that we had jobs when we were 16, because if you didn't work, it was like, why aren't you working? But at the same time, you're used to a comfort zone. Whereas in Nigeria here, like, I remember when I was moving back, I knew. In America, I never thought about a side gig. How it worked. Hold on, let me finish. In America, I started going online and saying, what can I sell? I'm telling you, I have started to plan. My first plan was I would sell rechargeable fans. This is what I was in America.
Well, you know why you got that? It's what she said.
I need to hustle.
You know why she got that? It's what she said. Now, Lola pointed out to us that people here were not no, I don't want to use the word exposed. Kind of scared. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
you guys came with that confidence of, I'm looking in here and seeing the hustle spirit.
Sure.
So when you combine the exposure and independence
Yes,
with
and
the
do
hustle
this,
spirit,
yes.
there's no stopping you sort of attitude. Do you know what I mean? We're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, confidence. She's like, I don't want to use the word exposure, but the whole chick being scared and gated, you find somebody who's lived on the streets and I'm coming to this Lagos, I must show.
Basically, those that were in the diaspora that came back brought something. Those that were here also gave them something.
Yeah.
So it's like both
Learning
parties
and
have
learning.
learned something.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Beautiful
fantastic
marriage.
subject. We're going to continue talking about this in a moment.
Music helps
Connect
break
us
so
in
many
different
boundaries. It's so universal. Like, look at the Fela, Bob Marley's. Like, these people, their music up to today is in China, everywhere. So it carries the story of the country.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. We've had a fantastic episode talking about Nigerians doing amazing things and just the spirit of entrepreneurship that we have in Nigeria. Now, this is a great question. I'm curious to find out what you guys are going to say, because there are a lot of international superstars who are Nigerians now, which is so cool to know that we are doing it big globally. So which international Nigerian superstar are you most proud of? Who would you say that you're like, you're doing it for Nigeria internationally?
As in, they are.
Yeah, international.
Basically, the world knows them now.
Wizkid, I would say.
Wiz.
I like him in music. I'm thinking about in terms of business and entrepreneurship.
What, like the Dangotes and
We're all mentioning people in entertainment. You're right, actually. Are you kidding? Everybody knows who
Dangote
he
is
is.
international.
Very much so.
As much as he
But
is
it's not
that's
recent.
like
He's still
as in cement factory, tomato factory, all that's here.
Okay, I would say also Uzo
Aduba.
From Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black,
Yeah. Great actress. Very
Lupita
humble.
Nyong'o.
Lupita is not Nigerian.
Yeah.
Okay. She's African.
I mean, she's African, but after that movie, it was like, okay.
Oh no, she's doing well for herself. She is.
I'll say
Well, I
Uzo.
actually interviewed a couple Nigerians on my show. Shameless plug. Hello, Africa.
Do you?
And
Do you, girl?
And
Do you?
there's a guy named Kevin Olushola. He's also in entertainment, but I find he's so educated. There's so many of us that are like doctors, lawyers, engineers. So he actually was, as much as he studied music, of course his parents were like, you must get that degree, as in like, whether it's mathematics or just law, just have that degree and then find your, explore your passion. So a lot of the people that I had on the show, I mean, Hino was one, he's a boxer. Kevin Olushola is a Grammy Award winning beatboxing celloist. Aminata Yende. They live in the diaspora, and they're doing just incredible things. So, I mean, these are just Nigerians who just across the board are just doing so many wonderful
Can
things.
I say why I said Wizkid?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, to me, firstly, music is like a huge part of my life, firstly. And the reason why I love music is the way it can spread and carry on information as it goes. Now, so before, perhaps if no one knew about Nigeria, the fact that one person's song can get someone to tap into a whole nation is what I love about music. So people in America that probably haven't heard of Nigeria, but now there's a song, who's this Wizkid guy? They now check Wizkid, figure out he's Nigerian, and then they might know where he lives and then what tribe he's from, and naturally it just unlocks like Nigeria.
Yeah, like, yo, like,
do you understand what I mean?
I'm
So
not even a front.
it's not
It's
just
like
the music.
opening the
It's
gates
like
to Nigeria.
music helps
Connect
break
us
so
in
many
different
boundaries.
ways.
It's so universal. Like, look at the Fela, Bob Marley's. Like, these people, their music up to today is in China, everywhere. So it carries the story of the country along. When Wizkid is singing Oju Elegba, do you understand? They're singing along to this.
And I think, I think what's so amazing is that, I mean, definitely we think about Rihanna, we think about Barbados, but what's so unique about Wizkid's story is that even though he might not be singing only in English.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So in so many ways, what you're saying is so true, is that the culture of Nigeria is in his music. He could be singing only English songs that people would not know this guy is Nigerian. But when you listen to Wizkid's song, you're gonna know he's Nigerian, and that's amazing.
With Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And I sat back that evening and I said, this is one young guy. Yeah, music, we can say, is one side. But at the end of the day, music connects people.
Yes.
Music is this is one guy, one young guy who is living out his dream, and people who have witnessed Wiz before his success story know that he deserves every single
it's really
thing
inspiring.
he has.
You know, I think it also is it's just a matter of the times. I feel like more people, especially in the diaspora, or maybe just say US, UK, they're more open to Africans and our culture and being able to, you know, I mean, we talked about like cultural appropriation, things like that, but I just feel like more and more people are just like, well, let's talk about Africa. Like,
but
who are the people there?
That's because we put it on ourselves to sell our culture.
I think so
because
too.
5-6 years back,
We were copying
find
them.
people that
That's it.
when you see
West
them
side,
when
I'm from the
wearing
east
uniform,
side.
Our songs.
But now when people are walking on the streets of New York, they're wearing the sneakers made by Nigerian
That's
guys.
it.
And with Instagram,
Yes.
like I remember I was standing at I think it was Harrods. I went into one time, and I had it was an outfit I had from a Nigerian designer. And you know, like 3-4 women walked up to me and I said she's on Instagram, and they reached out there and there. Does she export? Does she get this? And I knew that in
Social
my own
media
little
opens
way,
up.
so
It really does.
It's
It
easier
does.
to
I feel like
connect.
we're just so confident in our culture that we're like, no, we're proudly Nigerian.
We're more
Do you know what
proud
I mean?
about our culture than we used to be.
Technology.
Yes.
I mean,
It's
technology.
good.
Guys,
Really great
you know,
tools.
it's been an amazing time, amazing conversation.
I've
But
had so
before
much
we let you go, we have a celebrity secret that we would like you guys to share with us. So something that nobody knows about you.
Okay.
What do we
What?
say that on TV.
maybe a habit you
It could be
have?
anything.
I mean, I'm worried about you.
share
The
something about-
thing she
Oh, I'll share something.
Oh,
It's
okay.
probably along those lines, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay, so let's see.
I do have a tattoo
Where?
on my leg.
She has a tramp stamp. No, it's a tramp stamp. Let me tell you all I know.
Let's not call it a Tramp Stamp.
No.
It's a tattoo that happens to be in that area of my
American
body.
Let me define. Let me.
It's not a Tramp Stamp.
Wait, Eunice, now chill. Let me define. Okay, so
It's
this
not
is
a
how I
Tramp
know
stamp.
Eunice has a tattoo on her lower back. So there was an event that I went to, and Eunice walked through with this cutout. She had cut out here, cut out at the back. It was just cut out CNES.
But it was like, but in the front, it was kind of like, it was nice.
And then her
straightforward.
tramp stamp, and then you know little artists.
Why are we on this Tramp Stamp,
Well,
please?
you know the reason why they call it tramp stamp though? Like, let's not get into
Why not?
No, yeah,
Stop
Right,
it.
it's not TV friendly. That's why.
Oh goodness, I don't really have a secret. Well, I don't know. In my teenage years, I guess not that I thought I was a boy. Obviously, like I'm not transgender or anything, but I
She had to
literally
put that in there.
was such a tomboy. Like literally used to just hang around with only guys. We used to like sag my. Used to
Sag
I
your
used to sag my pants. I promise.
wear boxers
No,
inside?
I used to actually wear boxers inside.
Okay, yeah.
But
You're a
I
tomboy.
used to actually, when I say sag my, like obviously not crazy sag, but
Yeah.
I used to live in tracksuits and trainers. But then I always had like lip gloss, a bit of eyeliner, lashes. So I always had this like girliness, but I was literally thought I was basically.
So
a
the
boy.
majority of your friends were guys.
Then when I realized that, okay, Lola, if some of these guys actually like you, you're probably not a boy. So
Yeah.
I started to find some female friends.
That's great. That's great. Those are good ones. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you
coming.
so much for joining us.
So much
pleasure.
fun.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely fantastic. Coming up shortly, it's going to be time for In a Nutshell.